Hey, it's Dan here, and I hope your day is going great and you're having a fantastic week. You know that voice, the one that pipes up the moment you think you're going to do something hard? The one that whispers, "Who do you think you are?" The one that tells you people like you do not get to do things like this. The one that says, "You're probably just going to embarrass yourself." The one that says, "Remember last time we tried this?" That's the voice of self doubt, and it lies every single day to every single one of us. Don't listen to it. We're going to talk about that. And here's what I need you to understand today. That voice of self-doubt isn't the voice of truth. It's not the voice of wisdom either. So it's not even the voice of God or your gut or your good judgment. It's just a voice. And like any voice, you can argue with it. But you have to recognize it first. So most people walk around their entire lives and they never realize that that voice in their head is a separate thing from who they actually are. They hear the voice say, "You can't do that." And they treat it like a fact. Like, the sky is blue and you can't do that. It's the same level of certainty. And it's a trap. So step one is just notice the voice. So the next time you have an idea about anything in your future and that voice piles in with all kinds of reasons why it won't work, just pause. Notice it. That's the voice. It's not you. That's that broken record that's been playing in the background of your mind for however long you've been alive, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever your age. So where did that voice come from? So it's different places for different people. Some of it came from that parent who always criticized you. Some of it came from that teacher who put you down. Some of it came from a coach who told you you're not good enough. Some of it came from that job that they really didn't appreciate you. And some of it came from that relationship that you were in that you thought was great, but it ended badly. The voices took notes during all of those experiences. And ever since that voice heard those things, it's been trying to protect you and keep you from getting hurt. It's trying to prevent you from taking any risk, and it's trying to keep you safe. So the voice, it thinks it's helping. The voice believes it's saving you from rejection and disappointment. But what it's actually doing, it's slamming in the door and it's locking you into a room and it's convincing you that that room is the whole world. I want to bring something up from scripture just for a minute because I think this is worth hearing. So in Exodus, God comes over to Moses through the burning bush and he talks to Moses. And he tells Moses that he's going to lead the people out of Egypt. And Moses pushes back like big time. He's like, who am I that I should go? And he's like, they're not going to believe me. He's like, I'm slow of speech and slow of tongue. He's not a good speaker. No, Moses had this voice in his head telling him he wasn't the guy. He was making excuses, not because they were true, but because that voice was really loud in his head. But God didn't give Moses a personality transplant. No, God just told Moses, I'm going to be with you. And then Moses went. And then the rest of the story. So you don't have to be silent. You don't have to silence that voice to take the next step. You just have to take the step while the voice is still talking. I have my own voice. I think, well, we all have our own voice. Everyone does. So there were times in my career, both military and civilian, when that voice told me I was in over my head. It told me I shouldn't be in this room that I was in. It told me I shouldn't be applying for whatever position I was applying for. Some of those times the voice was right, that I was completely out of my league, out of my capability. But out of your capability is not the same as not belonging. Sometimes the most important rooms you walk into are the ones where you feel a little out of place. But that's where you grow. That's where growth happens. So here's your like a practical thing for today, okay? There's three things. So the first, name your voice. You know, some people name the voice to remind them that it's not themselves when they hear it. And some people just call it the voice, whatever works. So the point is that you put some distance between you and the voice. So when you hear it, you think of it as a third party instead of a fact. So the second, when that voice talks to you, talk back to it. Not in a fake way, not in a positive thinking mantra way, just in a, is that actually true kind of way? The voice says, you can't do this. Talk back to it. Can't I? Or just, I haven't yet. The voice says, people like you don't do things like this. Talk back to it. What's a person like me? And who said I can't do it? So the voice gets quieter when you start start talking back to it and asking it for evidence, because it usually doesn't have any evidence. So the third one, and this is the one that it really matters, is replace that voice with a true voice. The voice of God in Scripture, the voice of a trusted mentor, the voice of your spouse or partner who knows you, the voice of a friend who's been with you through those hard seasons. The voice of self-doubt is loud, but it's not the only voice in the room. Surround yourself with voices that tell you the truth, and that the lying voice, it gets drowned out over time. So my wife has been one of those voices for me, and it's been a long time. So she has been fantastic. I love her. She's awesome. But there's been seasons where that voice in my head, it tells me I should just give up on whatever it is I'm doing. I have lots of ideas. And she's the one, she's right there with me. She's saying, hey, press on. It's going to work out. And she doesn't do it in like this flattery kind of way that's fake. She's like, she does it in a way that says, I know you, and I see you, and I know you got this kind of way. Everybody needs people like that. And if you have one of them, hold them tight. If you don't, start looking for one of those kind of people today. Not saying find a wife or a spouse or a partner. Find a person that you can trust and that you can listen to and know they're being honest with you. So here's something to do today. Write down 3 things that voice has been telling you lately. Then, next to each one of them, write the truer thing. Not a positive lie. Write the truer thing. You're not what that voice in your head says you are. You are what you do next. So tomorrow, we're going to talk about that action, that next. So because action is the only thing that's ever going to shrink that voice for good. So have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.